Hello everybody, this is my video number 10. As you can see, my native language is French, therefore I will try to speak the best English I can. And something else, I have to follow a text so that I don't forget important details. And for those who find my video without going through my website, let me introduce myself. My name as a self-taught and multidisciplinary scientist is Gilles Lauzon Urtubise, and I am the owner of the first human multi-intelligence.com site. As you know, the title is Star Similar and Night Boring to Our Sun. According to a reliable source on the French language Wikipedia site or any other source, the star closest to us is Alpha Centauri C, which is at 4.244 light years from the Sun and from us. Otherwise, this is probably incorrect for the following reason, because, well, what is correct, it's all about Alpha Tauri, but what is not correct, for me, it is because between us and Alpha Centauri, their most technically be several stars with the size of our sun, but the fact that their brightness is considerably lower than that of Alpha Centauri C, this has the consequence that they becomes invisible to the our powerful telescope on Earth. So, from a radius distance which is 100, 150 or 200 UA, unique astronomical, from us and beyond or further. So that between a spherical array of 100 AU and up to 4.244 light years from the Sun and us, there must be a large number of stars which the size of our Sun that technically have at least one planet that is capable of allowing life to develop like on Earth, and a large number of stars which can vary between 1 and 10 million stars or more, which I have no ideas exactly because I didn't have time to analyze this seriously, but it's some things about it anyway. So in this context, it is possible for 10 or more stars that are night boring and somewhere between 100, 150 or 200 AU from us to feature an intelligent life form that can come and visit us regularly, having the physical capacity for the great mother spaceship to be able to camouflage its appearance. So to camouflage its appearance thanks to a technology of a considerably high level, and to have been seen, for example, on the rare occasion spaced out in time and next to one of their small shuttle vessels. as had been revealed on 3 occasions at least, which is in France, on the French islands of Réunion, and once in one of the areas of the southern United States by a police officer, and many other places, but at least 3 times. And so that's, well, I know, I believe they exist because of my knowledge about the universe, and because I'm the first one to decode the way of the universe works on the large scale, and some new theory that I invent of operation of the atoms at at the atoms or subatomic scale, which is in physics particle, which those 3 or 4 should be only the one that could be proved by external effects. So then, and 2, because from our Earth, our powerful telescope allows us to see a star like Alpha Centauri C for the following reason: because this star has a diameter which is very large. So that's the first reasonable reason. 2, because this star has a luminous intensity that allows it to be detectable at 4.244 light years from the sun and from us. And 3, so there are 2 proof. So those are 2 proof here why our powerful telescope are unable to detect the presence of stars the size of our sun among others, and which are because the diameter of these stars is too small or narrow to be detectable by our power telescope, because the light intensity of these stars is too weak to be detectable by our powerful telescope. Other subjects. Other intelligent alien life form. For several years now, I have believed in regular visit from extraterrestrial or aliens, and even before any life from appears on our planet, because the universe always existed, and it's much more older than 13.8 billion years, which is just ridiculous then, and which I bring the proof in some other video. So as far as I am concerned, there is no way that my extremely high physical logical mind could be bothered or fooled by any branch of complex mathematics, because all of those for me, it's if you try to take a branch like singularity and try to apply this to the way of the universe work or the way of the Big Bang. Anyway, the Big Bang never exists, so just put that away. But of the black holes working, no, it's no way. It's in the singularity. Nothing's have to do with anything in the universe in astrophysics. So I reject completely singularity, which is for me, when they try to apply that kind of stuff, for me it's a magic mathematical thinking, and it doesn't work. Then, and among my 50 and 100 or more theories, should be more of course, of my mother theory of how the universe works on a macroscopic scale, there is none that has any connection to mathematics. Among my 50 and 100 or more theories of my imposing mother theory of the universe work, there are none of these that can be characterized as one or more accommodating magical thoughts form. because my extremely high physical logical mind, it originates from an insatiable curiosity about nature that started from an age that is 5 or 6 or before until now. Then it started, so that started from an age that is 5 years old or 6 years old or before that age until now. So from a very early age, I've found myself assimilating lots of knowledge of experience and physical cause and effect relationship to understand how the natures work, and until I can figure them out, or most of the time, so or much as I can then. Starting by observing the nature of soil, rivers, insects, small animals, and all the things in nature that takes too long to list. So for several decades, I have managed to accumulate a considerable amount of physical cause effect relation, a physical cause to effect cause. So yes, a considerable amount of relationship between physical cause to physical effect, because this is extremely useful afterwards to be able to differentiate the possible things from the impossible things, and among other things, never to be trapped by all kinds of mathematical magical thoughts or other forms of magical thinking, which have nothing in common with physical reality. And thanks to my extremely high capacity in deep investigation, in deep reflection, in very deep analyze, and limitless inventiveness, and many others forms of intelligence, which is so important and which take too long to list. This allowed me to be the first and only one in history to be able to decode how the way of the universe works in a next and extreme short times of only 5 years and 8 months, whereas every other astrophysicist or planetologist before me has been able to do so for the past 200 years. Currently, my 50 and 100 new theories or more of my imposing modern theory of how the universe works on a macroscopic scale give me a level of satisfaction that is somewhere between 96% and 98.5%. And I will never be happy with this file until I achieve 100% satisfaction and nothing less. And that's the reason I like to tackle at least 3 or 4 extremely complex files or more at a time, who are currently: 1, my imposing modern theory of how the universe works on a macroscopic scale, and some other things on physical particle, because I also produce 3 or 4 theory that explain the operation at atom. So what happened at atom or subatomic scale, what kind of effect did I invent, and which is those 3 or 4. It's only the one they could be proved by external effects. So then, and 2, my patent file of 300 or 350 pages for an extraordinary spaceship to find funding to finalize the best possible pattern until it can be 100% protected. And why it is for me an extraordinary spaceship, because it's the only one. It can bring a crew of 6 astronauts or plus between Earth and Mars, or between Earth and Ceres, which is much more further, or between Earth and one of any asteroid of the main belt, and maybe between Earth and one of the moon or of the satellite of Jupiter, but which is only after the first destination, the first trip. So the first other trip, Mars and Ceres. So 3. An extremely important and personal file that must be completed after the COVID-19, because it significantly harms my productivity of all kinds, as well as physical, and which I cannot disclose for personal reason. And because I am the only one in history who can solve it. And because it is so complex, and I think it's complex. It's almost complex like the universe. So that's why nobody can cure it, because it's still incurable until now. Then, so for a dossier to produce a social website or a social network, which is the most protective in history for all members of society. And when you discover it, you just can't believe it. So, number 5, many other files in parallel, which are of less importance, but that I absolutely want to solve. From the moment I have collaborators of several skills and under my direction. Well, of course, I need a teams of at least 3 or 4 scientific to make a scientific reading committee to help me to finalize my last position on some certain theories of my mother theory. But if I have no help, I will do the way they are right now. But if I have collaborators, so we can exchange between each other, afterwards, after sometimes I will be enough satisfied to publish and go with it. So, like example of file is a cancer of men and women. So, because in my near future it's possible for me to catch a cancer. So before to catch it, I want to be ready. And anyway, I will work on the man and woman cancer. But I will start by the men cancer, because if I die by a man cancer, I cannot continue to doing anything else. So then, and other files that take too long to list, because I am an extremely powerful intellectual machine, and far superior to all human brain, home computers, and powerful computers together of the earth. And as indisputable proof of this, it is my imposing mother theory of how the universe works on a macroscopic scale, and other 3 or 4 other theory at particle physics, which is at the atomic or subatomic scale. So all of these which I will publish following my patent filing, because of course I need to filing my paper patent, so after I can publish all of my works on my website, or a scientific journal at my name. In conclusion, if all the government of this part, if all the government of the world invested between 1 trillion and or 5,000 billions or more, or 5 trillion or more, in every other brains of the planet, they will have or collectively be unable to produce works like the one I have produced so far in about 7 years and 2 months by now. Because outside of me, it is only through the development of an artificial intelligence to an extremely high level that such a feat can be achieved. Besides, I am not here to describe the works of all the other astrophysicists, but it is my duty to discredit all of his work which is at odds with some of my theories of my imposing mother theory of how the universe works on a macroscopic scale. In addition, through my self-taught study in astrophysics and in astrophysics of only 5 years and 8 months to successfully decoding the way of the universe work on a macroscopic scale, there is no mystery that I have failed to decode or solve. And if there are any mystery to be discovered that I have yet to meet, I sincerely doubt that any mystery of the universe can withstand my very high intellectual power in investigation, reflection, deep analysis, and inventiveness of all kind, plus all of my other kind or intellectual capacity. Because so far I have always managed to decode or solve all the mystery that I have encountered, or at least provide at least one satisfactory explanation or more than one. And all of my theory that goes into my imposing mother theory of how the universe works on a macroscopic scale, there are none of them that can be called a theory of one or more accommodating magical thoughts, because all of my theories are based on one or more relationship between physical cause to physical effect and nothing else. On the other hand, if it's happened in the near future that I come to realize that one of my theory is no longer acceptable, I will change it right away. But it is possible that any of my theories could be completely wrong. No, I don't think so. But anyway, in the worst case, the only thing I figured and I have to do, it's only just make a slight modification. And well, yes, and that's it. So, well, thank you for viewing my video, and welcome to my next video, which will reveal my opinion on another subjects in the universe. Thank you. Goodbye.